Okay, so this is one of my favorite parts of this talk because we will be dealing with exam tips, okay? But I'd rather call them golden tips. And they're golden because of a very special reason. I've asked some of my colleagues to help me out and gather some interesting tips just for you guys. Well, first of all, we've got this incredible, sweet teacher. She's been a teacher for all over her life. That's Sandra Stevens. Thank you very much, Sandra, for being part of this. And according to Sandra, something you have to do, it's mandatory, is read the instructions carefully. Sometimes you make a mistake just because you haven't read the instructions carefully. Please do that. And then we also have Felipe Braz. He's also a teacher, and just like me, he believes that practice makes perfect. According to him, the best way to prepare is by taking mock tests to understand how the test works. I totally agree with him. Also, time yourself. Time how long it took you to do an exercise, and then you compare that to the suggested time. Then another precious lady here, we've got Iris Maite, and she suggests the following. This is for the reading, right? Read only the questions and search for the answer in the text without reading the alternatives in order to avoid your getting confused. And this tip is something that Barbara Hernandez, another friend of mine who's a teacher, and now she's living in Ireland. She also thinks the same way. She told me that she'd always read the questions, look for the answer in the text, and then she would relate her answer to one of the alternatives. And then we also have another dear friend of mine who's an excellent professional. All of them are excellent professionals. We have here Glauber Silva, and he also acknowledges the importance of exam training. He warns that some students might not be able to manage their time well because they want to read the text as if they were reading an article of a magazine or newspaper, and they want to understand every single word. Just don't do that. It's time consuming and you'll be carried away. You won't have enough time to cover that paper. And then we have Felipe Gonzalez, who is a dear and close friend of mine, and he states that he's already seen many students being in trouble in the writing paper of the CPE, and his tip is time management in the writing is essential. He exemplifies that by saying that if you have 1 hour and a half to cover the writing paper, don't spend 1 hour to prepare the first task really well. Treat writing in an objective way. You don't need to wait for any divine inspiration. You're supposed to control an efficient writing methodology. By doing that, it's way easier to produce a piece of writing of quality within the time limit. Felipe also points that for the speaking paper, it's not really recommended to have memorized phrases. According to him, you could establish a target of good expressions and structures you're going to use. It's really easy for you to distract and freak out because you just can't remember that expression you had previously memorized. On the other hand, I've got Renata Souza. Thank you very much, Renata, for participating. She says that there's no problem. You could have your top 5 expressions you'd like to use to impress the examiner, which I think is wonderful. But then you have to use them as often as you can, as many times as possible, while you're preparing for the exam, so that they come out naturally on the day of the test, right? And I think this is it. Thank you very much. This dear friends of mine. I'm very proud, and very proud of you, and I admire your work deeply, profoundly. Now, my tips. Be aware of what it takes to succeed and have the results that you want. It takes a lot of dedication, hard work, exhaustion, if you will, but I can guarantee you it totally pays off. Go crazy, go insane, go wild, post-it notes all over your house, on the walls, on the ceiling, in your car, anywhere, everywhere. Download the apps. Nowadays we have so many tools. Make use of them. And they're all there available for us. Why not? Why not use them? Well, what I have to tell you here is being Cambridge certified or having a marvelous scores, either in IELTS or the TOEFL, is a key to a lot of doors you'll be able to open. I mean it, guys. Doors will be open to you. It's not only being awarded a score or a certificate. It's so much more than that. It means being entitled, a citizen of the world. Can you believe that? There won't be a single door closed to you. I tell you that from experience, and I honestly don't know what my life would have been like if it weren't for my studying English so hard and in such dedicated way. Well, these are my certificates I've got. This is the CPE I have, also the BULAT, which is a more business-like kind of certificate, and this is the CELTA, which is directed to teaching English, and I'm so proud of them. That's why you've been seeing them throughout all the stock. Okay? So thank you very much. I hope I have helped you here. And if you need anything, just let me know. I'll be more than glad to help you out. Thank you.